it was, and he was there. A picture of him and about him being in the Johnny Weissmuller about being in the 1936 Olympics, and I told Byron, gosh, I'm trying to get focused here, that Daddy Byron was on the swim team with him in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, right?
Yep, and so, and that.
I'm surprised you remember that. You know, Dad would tell stories, and how many. Your dad was just a kid himself, and how many kids would remember
Right.
all those stories,
Mm-hmm.
But you were always, you have a good memory.
Well, Byron loves to hear stories too. This now, how many? This is he like the fifth or the sixth Byron in the family now? Is he the last Byron so far? Or do we have any newer ones?
Wait a minute, is he the last Byron? I think so.
I think
The last Byron. Byron, that means you have to have a Byron.
I did.
If you have a little girl, if you don't have a son, you need to name her Byron.
Byrina.
Byrona.
Beyonce.
Well, Bo and Byron, and that's Boyd's son. By the way, Bo is one terrific doctor up in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And he's doing.
Ella Louise.
So he was.
That's cute.
So he told me about it. And he said, I said, well, that's so nice of you to call her that. He said, yeah. He said, although my mother got quite upset with me, and
I bet she did.
I said, well, why don't you make her happy? And it's just you don't have to call her Ella Lois, because his mother's name is Lois.
That's right. It
So
could be both. Louise and Lois.
How about Lois Louise?
So I said to Bo, make her happy. I said, I don't care. I'll always know that you called her Louise, but you tell your mother it's Ella Lois.
Yeah.
Make her happy.
Well, you're very loved and revered by our family. You're our matriarch of the family.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Bless your heart. You hear that?
Well,
I'm so pleased. You can't imagine how happy it made me to take this time for me. Really.
It was fun.
It is fun, isn't it?
I hope you're not bored. Are you bored to death? No.
They're not. Byron said this morning, he said, Mom, I can't wait to see Mama Louise.
No. Did I disappoint you?
No,
I'm good.
well, he wants to hear stories.
He loves stories.
So he's like his daddy.
Well, your daddy knows more than I do. He remembers all I've forgotten.
There's this.
It's amazing.
It's a lot of fun, and there's a whole lot. See, Daddy Byron and Mama Louise, they've been through so much. All those years. Think of all the stories, all the things they've done, all the people's lives they've touched, and so what you end up with is you end up with some stories that sound like whoppers that nobody else can believe because they're so big.
I know, and his mother, when I first met Dad, his mother's favorite was Elwood.
Yeah.
And always, Byron had to give in to Elwood all the time, even to the point where he had to give Elwood a store,
Right.
If he opened up
Mother
a store,
said, I had to give you the store.
he had to put Elwood to work, that's the way it was. But anyway, when I think of the stories that he used to tell about his mother, and coming up, and how she was quite a woman, I'll tell you.
Well, how about Daddy Byron's father? What do we know about him?
Not a whole lot. I remember Boyd. I think when Boyd met him.
Okay.
And he, I'm trying to remember where it was. And he said to us, that I heard him said, that Nell, his mother, not his mother, his wife, that would be Byron's mother.
Mm-hmm.
Nell would ride a willing horse to death. That was the way he explained it.
A willing.
She was very difficult to get along with.
That's the story I've heard.
Everything was her way or no way, or as they say today, it's my way or the highway. But anyway. so many stories. But one thing that Nell could do was tell stories. Oh
Really?
boy. Wow, did she tell them, and they were good.
So Daddy Byron came by that from her, probably.
Right,
Yeah.
right. He really did. And she was, I liked her.
Yeah.
I liked her a lot. Although a lot of people said, you know, she was difficult to get along with, but I just give her her own way all the time and you get along fine.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder how Daddy Byron became named Byron. The first Byron of our family. How was he? How did he come by that name?
His father, Byron is Byron Wesley Evans.
Mhm.
His father was Wesley Byron Evans.
Oh.
So
he
Daddy
was a
Byron's not the
Byron?
first Byron.
No.
Oh, how about that?
Wesley
His
Byron
father's name
Evans.
was Wesley Byron Evans.
Oh, Byron, you could have a son and name him Wesley Byron. Or not. You could just name him Byron, but you gotta put Byron in there somewhere.
Okay, I'll name him whatever his
But-
name is. Then,
Wesley?
well,
Bailey, you could still use the name Byron too.
That's right.
Honor your brother.
My
You
son.
could,
Not a girl, a son.
don't name him what?
Max. Your dog is Max.
Well,
Max Byron Simmons.
well,
That's
now,
my dog's name.
no.
He's the 7th generation.
Is Evans?
Byron
That's right.
Simmons, okay.
What is Evans a German nationality?
Evan, no, it's Welsh.
Welsh. Okay, Welsh. I heard that growing
Dad,
up.
Byron's, not his mother and father were born in Philadelphia,
Mhm.
but his grandparents came from Wales.
So his grandparents came to America from Wales,
Right.
and then he was first. His mother and father were first generation American.
Well, his father was from Wales. His mother was from Philadelphia.
Okay.
She was born and raised in Philadelphia.
Okay. So you remember her last name? Is that something that's in the memory?
Morris.
Morris. Morris. Okay.
Ellen
Ellen Morris.
Ellen Morris
Okay.
and Wesley Evans.
You know, Dad, Andy Simmons, has put together the family tree coming from Moses Simmons, he was Dutch. We thought it was English, but we think he's found out that he's Dutch, and that Moses Simmons came to America on the second ship, the Venture.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
And so these names that you're filling in could be very useful
Yeah.
for
Backtracking.
connecting the dots to the heritage and finding out we had murderers maybe or kings in the past.
Or kings, yeah. Murderers. Murderers are kings.
Or knights.
Or knights.
Well, we just don't,
Or slaves.
it's been lost, Think about so many years people have lost it. So this is the next generation, their generation, Byron and Bailey's, is the one who it'll all be recorded, everything,
Right.
and so, but see, the generation before you is almost gone totally. Like your mother, that generation of stories, it's either written down or
That's
somebody
right.
took the time to video it or tape record it, or it's gone.
And that's so important because even now from being over here, I'll think of things, and in my office at home, I have recorded a lot of stuff, a lot of files on stuff.
Yeah.
And I think, oh, well, I'll go look it up, and then I think, and then I remember.
It's not there.
All gone, and all those pictures, and that's why Janice put together a picture for me. Before you go, I'll have to show it to you in the bedroom.
Okay.
And of my father. By the way, he was quite a dude, that guy. He was.
I bet.
He was, I don't know this for a fact, but I mean, the way I've been told and I heard stories, the reason that Mom and he separated was because he was a womanizer. He liked the women. And you can understand why. He was a good-looking man.
A good-looking Italian man.
Blonde hair and blue eyes.
Really?
Huh.
So Lisa came by it naturally then, the blonde hair.
Oh, yeah, well, I never thought my children could be blonde. I never thought about it, but then I thought, well, Byron when he was a kid, he was blonde. But all my children were blonde when they were little.
Yeah. So what was your father's name? Do you remember his?
Frank Ferrard.
Frank Ferrard.
Ferrard.
Okay.
People say Ferrara. It wasn't. It was Ferrard.
Okay. So they came. Did they come in at Ellis Island?
I guess so. 'Cause
Probably, I bet.
would have to. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be neat to go see their signature, to find their
Oh,
name?
Go over there and find their name. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That would be
You
neat.
know, I never thought about that when I was up in that country.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
to go
I never
look.
thought about it.
Hmm.
Huh.
That would be fun to do.
Yeah, this is. I went to my high school reunion with Lisa a couple of weeks ago, and this was the reunion where everybody looked bad. Everybody looked bad, except my wife, Jill.
You
So,
remind me about Michael. He went to his reunion too,
uh-huh.
and he said the same thing.
His are older than mine. I saw his pictures on Facebook. I saw some of his stuff on his Facebook page. Pictures of his reunion. So,
Oh, did you?
yeah.
Oh.
It's pretty neat. Yeah, it's pretty neat. So,
Well, you know, like he said, his hair is white, you know, and
mhm.
but although he's got a good figure, you know, he's doesn't have a
Well,
pop out
he's
yet.
still surfing, isn't he?
Huh?
He still surfs.
Well, not for a while he hasn't surfed, but he's thinking about doing it again. Anya was telling me.
Really?
Yeah, and I said talk about it, but he's liable to break his neck.
No, Uncle Mike is how old is he now? This is 2011.
I see, gotta
Is
stop
he
and
like
think about how old he is now. 59.
Okay.
Mm.
So yeah, so he's thinking about doing some things that he hasn't done in a while, I bet.